Private investigators, or PIs, are unassuming individuals with a range of educational backgrounds and professional experiences. For instance, lawyers, insurance companies, and unreliable spouses use detectives to gather evidence in civil and criminal cases. Even while it isn't as glamorous as the TV shows make it out to be, it can still be an interesting career. In this video, I am going to be showing you how to be a private investigator now. Let's begin. Number 1. Find out about local requirements. A private investigator license must be obtained from a state or country that requires a specific degree of education or experience. Most of the time, the following information will help you meet the requirements, but it's best to confirm with local legislation before beginning any job search. Nearly everywhere you apply, a criminal past disqualifies you. Your prospective employers might do a background check on you, even if the area is unlicensed. Currently, there are none in the United Kingdom, although this is anticipated to change soon. Number 2. Related academic programs at the collegiate level, recommended. Despite the fact that many regions do not require it, the 4-year degree is nevertheless strongly advocated for anyone without the necessary professional experience. Enroll in and successfully complete a 2- or 4-year degree program in criminal justice, police science, or criminal law. Accounting or a related background could help you pursue a job as a corporate investigator. These detectives typically investigate allegations of theft and fraud. Even in professions where a degree is not required, this could be considered when determining the required amount of work experience. For instance, in California, obtaining a law degree or a 4-year degree in police science saves 2,000 hours. Number 3. Consider your personality qualities. The actual PI job is probably not nearly as glamorous as your fantasy of it. The majority of your duties will include surveillance, web investigation, and gathering documentation for court presentations. Someone with specific abilities and disposition is required for this. Outstanding powers of observation. Having effective communication skills will help you work with clients and speak to juries. Resourcefulness and the ability to make quick decisions. Moderate proficiency with technology, especially the use of the internet for research and surveillance. The capacity to cope with occasionally stressful situations, physical and mental challenges, and lengthy, irregular work hours. Number 4. Get ready to become bored. You could imagine a private investigator, PI, as someone who spends their days in a smoky, gloomy office in a seedy part of town, fielding lines of desperate women at their door. In actuality, you'll be stuck famished for hours in your parked car in the middle of a suburban neighborhood because Joe Schmo might suddenly appear. It will weary you. Additionally, you'll become really exhausted. You shouldn't take this job if you have trouble staying up. Coffee shops open late, energy drinks, and the front seat of your automobile will become your best friends. I'm hoping it's cozy. This profession does not allow multitasking. Even if you spend hours perched behind a tree trying to shoot that photo, you can't exactly pass the time by reading a book or playing Bejeweled. It necessitates sustaining focus over extended periods of time, sometimes while passively waiting. One who is capable of waiting patiently without going crazy becomes a great candidate for the PI job. Number 5. Take cover. Regardless of the industry you choose, there will probably be at least a few situations where you need to be cunning. You must blend in wherever you go. Being outspoken and brash won't help your case. In some circumstances, you must be so covert that dogs won't be able to find you. Others require you to appear as natural as possible in order to gather information and establish your credibility. Recognizing what you need to do and how to present yourself will be a big part of the struggle. However, you must conceal your motives no matter what. Start by honing your deception techniques. Number 6. Enroll in courses for learning, recommended. While having a criminal justice degree can be advantageous, it might not cover the practical issues involved in surveillance and database access. The most important step for someone just entering the field, in the opinion of seasoned PIs, is to receive hands-on instruction. There are lots of quick, affordable courses offered. A national accreditation agency or an organization for investigative professionals should be consulted when choosing a course. By contacting local, independent private eye firms, request to observe an investigator in action. It won't take much convincing to convince them that having a second car will help with monitoring. Number 7. Make an offer on jobs that are entry-level. At reputable detective agencies, entry-level positions are frequently offered, however they might not have a steady pay scale. The business needs to provide on-the-job training so that you can gain the experience required to work as a legitimate private investigator. Typically, it takes a number of years. You can also qualify for your license by working as a military police officer, claims adjuster, or debt collector. In some states, your activities may be limited while you wait to be issued a license. Number 8. Consider your work opportunities and obtain your license. When you are eligible, take the exam if a license is necessary in your location. With the ability to access specific databases and conduct surveillance, your license will allow you to function as a private investigator. You are able to keep working for a private agency or apply for PI positions with businesses, governmental organizations, and law firms. These licenses are administered by the Department of Public Safety in most U.S. states. Although the average job growth rate is for those in the investigative field, the large rate of police and military retirees could make your job search challenging. In the U.S., an investigator makes a median yearly salary of $44,500, while in the UK, it is £17,500. Number 9. Consider your earlier experiences, be aware of the pressures of the job, and work toward obtaining a license to conduct investigations. Since the majority of private investigators only receive payments from clients, you must have the financial self-control to save up funds for times when business is slow. When you do have a job, you can be called whenever for a 12-hour session, which might have a considerably worse effect on your family life. Expect to give up a lot of evenings, weekends, and holidays in order to be able to conduct surveillance during your target's spare time. The fourth prerequisite is the capacity to control bodily and emotional stress, even stress brought on by sporadic dangerous situations. Some specialties offer slightly better hours and need less surveillance. 20% of private investigators had prior military service, and 50% have previous law enforcement experience. There are various more ways to enter the field, though you'll need similar skills if you don't want to start at the bottom. Legal-related tasks. Journalistic investigation. Claim adjustment for insurance. Debt recovery. Prior to permitting someone to function as a private investigator, the majority of U.S. states and many other nations need them to obtain a license. In most cases, if you have at least a few years of experience in one of the aforementioned professions, the experience requirement can be waived. A test is frequently required, along with possibly a brief training session. For further information, get in touch with the Department of Public Safety in your U.S. city or state. Number 10. Identify your focus. From identity theft to arson, private investigators can look into everything. Consider specializing in one or more areas by using specific experiences or skills, if you can. As a result, there may be more options for full-time employment, or one may develop a reputation that draws customers. A few typical specializations are listed below. Workers' compensation, dishonest partners, persistent theft, missing person searches, or vandalism are the most frequent reasons for surveillance jobs. If you have experience working in the legal field, law firms may hire you to help with trial work, which includes gathering data and presenting to juries. Forensic computer investigators retrieve and examine lost emails and other digital material, thus having computer skills can make you more appealing. For corporate occupations requiring fraud, embezzlement, asset recovery, and other financial activities, accounting knowledge is a good preparation. Number 11. Find stable employment and prepare your materials. You'll need a PC with a respectable processing speed and dependable transportation to begin with. The computers in the neighborhood library and the municipal bus are useless for finding someone. A quality camera, recording tools, and possibly camouflage clothing, depending on the task, are other items you'll undoubtedly desire. In most sorts of PI work, guns are less prevalent than you might imagine. If your state permits private investigators to carry weapons and you're willing to take on riskier cases, you might want to think about getting firearms training and a weapons license. Depending on your particular background, you might be able to acquire a full-time job in one of the aforementioned areas. Working for a detective agency is an additional option, and even if you have prior law enforcement experience, the on-the-job training it provides can be quite beneficial. Find clients among private citizens, legal professionals, and insurance providers. Even though 1 in 4 private investigators work for themselves, we don't recommend starting a firm until you have at least a few years of expertise. Number 12. Recognize what is and is not permitted. When it comes to the methods you use to apprehend your perp, you are a PI who must tread lightly. Lawbreaking is not permitted just because you are a private investigator. Keep yourself safe, keep working, and learn the laws. Pretexting, which is the act of claiming to be someone else in order to get information, is typically solely considered immoral. If you use your identity or a false identity to obtain phone or bank records in the U.S., it is against the law to do so. In most cases, wiretaps are forbidden. Usually lawful to conduct surveillance, especially if the police have been notified. It is undoubtedly unlawful to break and enter. Localities have different laws regarding citizen arrests. Number 13. Take steps to become certified. You can demonstrate your expertise in a number of investigative subfields by earning one of around 15 professional certificates. Most of the time, these demand passing a test and having at least 2 years of experience. The National Association of Legal Investigators, ASIS International, and the National Association of Fraud Examiners are a few instances of organizations that give certification. The qualification and title can be used to draw clients as long as your training is current. A professional certification is not what a certificate is. For brief training sessions, certificates are frequently given out. Though it may not have the same cachet, the training can be helpful. Hey, thank you for watching The Paths in Life. Be sure to subscribe for more life topics on The Paths in Life.